Hello, everybody. We are getting ready to go. I think we're all set. I'm going to slide back here just a little bit. Make sure everything's lined up. Everybody hear me okay? Sound okay? Nothing too crazy? Hope you guys have been having a great day. And I'm going to grab a few more things here real quick. Make sure we've got all our game stuff ready to go. Got a shorter game, but should still be a fun one. And get that up there. All right. I think we're ready. Let's see. I need to make sure. Oh, yeah. We are ready. We are ready to go. All right. So, I think that's good. All right. So we're starting on time? Yep, 6:01 according to my clock. So right on time here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Think our sound is good. If you can't hear me, let me know. Let me know in the chats. Make sure you guys can hear everything okay. There was our first mic touch of the night. Hope you're keeping count. All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome to CBC Live. It is Thursday. It is December the 10th. Thank you guys so much for joining with us. So glad you are here tonight. I am glad to be back with you. I've missed you guys. It's been 2 weeks, but very thankful to be back. Hope you guys have been having a wonderful week. Been really nice weather outside the last few days here out in Bowie, so hope you've had a chance to get outside, enjoy that nice weather. Deborah, thanks for commenting in the comments. Glad to see that you're here with us tonight. Always good to see you. Hope you guys have been doing all right with everything and staying safe, staying warm, or staying cool since it's been a little bit warmer. We're doing a lot better. We're just kind of taking it day by day right now. For those of you who don't know, Julie and I, we lost the girls. She had a miscarriage 2 weeks ago. It has been a struggle, but because of support from you all and from family and friends, we are definitely doing a lot better. So thank you guys so much. We can't tell you how much we appreciate all your prayers, your wonderful words of kindness. Somebody sent us a basket of English muffins and stuff, which were really good. Kind of random, but still super good. But it's just one of those things where you just take it one day at a time and you let God do what He's going to do. And He's been using amazing people like you to help us get through it. So thank you guys. But we're back. We're here. We're going to have some fun. I've got so many prizes because we're not just going to pick up. We're going to give away 3 prizes tonight because this is the 3rd week. We were out for Thanksgiving, and then I was out last week. So that's 2 prizes that we need to give out. So we got tonight. So I got 3 prizes to give away tonight. So I hope you guys will join in and have some fun with us there. Let's see. Oh, and my brain is a little foggy, but I have been trying to reach out to you because I had a bunch of prizes that I hadn't gotten to some of you. And I have reached out to some of you to make sure that you do get them. But if you have won something and I haven't reached out to you yet, let me know, because I know I've got a few more things in my office that still need to be given out. Now, I don't want to stockpile stuff. I want to make sure that all of our winners get the stuff that they've won. So, Deborah, if there's anything that you've won that I haven't gotten to you, let me know so I can get it to you. And anybody else that's watching, let me know so I can get you your stuff. All right. Well, let's just get started here. And we've got to find, you know what? I didn't even check this. So I talked with the youth last night about sharing your story and just the life that God has planned for you. And you don't always know what's going to happen. Your life is a journey and things happen every which way, but you got to believe that God's wanting to still get you to your destination and He's going to get you there. And so I kind of shared some of my story with them about how I proposed to Julia. So maybe I'll share that here one night. I'm not going to share that story tonight. I'm going to share another story with Julia tonight. But I thought, I want to see if you guys know much about me. Because outside of doing our live stream here on Thursdays and maybe the few minutes I get to talk to you, haven't really had a chance to connect with a lot of you. So we're going to play a little game to see how well you already know me, or if you don't know me at all, this is a good chance to get to know me. So I've got some random questions, and as always, we have our super mega awesome high-tech scorecard. So we're going to keep score, and we're going to go multiple choice here. Some of these you may be able to see. I may need to rearrange this just a tad, just so everyone can see it. There we go. Maybe that'll work a little better. Okay. That looks a little better. All right. So, well, now you know the answer because I clicked the wrong button. Okay. So the first question was supposed to be, what's my favorite color? And as always, we'll just go down the row of A, B, C, or D, and you choose the one that you think is correct. And as you already saw, my favorite color is green. So there's the practice question for you. So there you go. So there's our practice question. I'm going to slide this back this way for just a second. And now, all right. So let's move on to the real first question. This will be the real first question. What did I want to be when I was a kid? Growing up, what was it that I wanted to be? Did I want to be a fireman? Did I want to be a preacher? Did I want to be an astronaut? Or did I want to be a ninja? Which of these do you think I wanted to be? So if you think I wanted to be a fireman, you can just do the letter A. If you think I wanted to be a preacher, you can just do the letter B. If you think I wanted to be an astronaut, just do the letter C. Or if you think I wanted to be a ninja, you can do the letter D. So whichever one you think I most wanted to be out of those four. These are the four I considered the most. I guess you could say. Deborah, you say B, all right. Well, Deborah, you may be the only one who wins anything tonight, because right now it says you're the only one watching. But that's okay. We'll see if anybody wants to pick this up a little bit later. And, it's still early, so we still may have some people who jump in and join with us. But you're going to say preacher, and guess what? That is one of the correct answers. I did want to be a pastor just like my dad, so I'm going to give you 1 point. But what I really wanted to be was a ninja. That's what I really wanted to be. So if you had said ninja, I would have given you 2 points. But you still got preacher, so you still get 1 point. So there's that. So good job. Good job, Deborah. 1 point for that. All right. Here's the next question. What was my first job? It was the very first paying job that I had. Was it working as a cashier? Was it as a babysitter? Was it for a cleaning service, or was it as a pastor? What do you think was my first paying job? Which one would you say it was? If you think I was being a cashier, you can do A. If you think it was being a babysitter, you can do B. If you think it was a cleaning service, we'll say C for C. Or if you think it was being a pastor, you could say D. And that would be that one. Oh, well, dang it. Just click the button again. I see it's hard because my mouse, I try and go back and forth with it because I have to scroll it over here to do the one button, but then it has to come back over here to do the other button. So when I think I'm back on my page, see, right now you guys are seeing the cursor move in a circle, but sometimes when I see that cursor, it's actually on the separate screen. When you can see it moving, it means it's on a separate screen. But sometimes when I see it on my second screen, I think it's over where I need it to be. And then when I try to click, it would click something completely different. So it really throws me off sometimes. So I have to remember that it is it's a smaller one. So my bad. Yes, my first actual paying gig was with a cleaning service, and it was also my cleaning service. So we used to live on campus at Christ for the Nations, and one of the things students would have to do is they would have weekly room inspections. And if you didn't pass room inspection, then you had like penalties, blah, 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 whatever. So while we lived on campus, I put up flyers in the guys' dorms saying I would come and clean their room and guaranteed that they would pass their inspection. That was the guarantee. I realized I shouldn't have guaranteed that because one of the things they checked was if their beds were made, and, you know, they didn't check them until the next morning after I'd left and they'd already gone to sleep or whatever. So if they didn't make their bed, that was on them. But I deep cleaned lots of bathrooms in that dormitory. And I think I only charged like $20 or something just to clean it. So, but that was my first paying gig. So there you go. All right. Well, let's try this one. Now we got Julia involved. How long did my beautiful wife Julia and I date before I proposed? How long did we date before I proposed? Do you think I waited 1 year? If you do, you can give me an A in the comments. If you think I waited 2 years, you can put a B in the comments. If you think I waited 3 months, you can put a C in the comments. Or if you think I waited about 1.5 years, you can put a D in the comments. How long do you think I waited before I proposed to my beautiful, beautiful wife? We celebrated our 10-year anniversary this year back in March. 10 years. It has been a wild and crazy ride, but so grateful for her. So grateful that she's stuck with me for 10 years. Boy, that first year was a challenge. Lot of stories from that first year of marriage. We had our first big fight that we had. She couldn't even talk because she was so she had lost her voice and she had a sore throat. So all she could do was this. And we were just, you know, it was more or less a shouting match. But this is all she could do to shout at me. It's the biggest fight we had ever had. And she couldn't even yell at me properly. Oh, she did slap me once. That was funny. Like she did. She's not abusive. I did say something. We don't even remember why it happened, what was said. We just remember the actual stuff. Like she genuinely slapped me across the face, but we were both in such shock. Like I was in shock that she did it, and she was in shock that she did it. And we both just started busting out laughing because neither of us could believe what she just did. So, yeah, we have some crazy stories we could share. All good. So, okay, so Levi, you say we were only together for 3 months before I proposed. Anybody else? 1 year, 2 years, 3 months, 18 months. How long do you think we were together before I proposed to her? Final guess. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Actually, I don't know why I'm counting down because there's a delay. So even me doing a countdown, it would still be too late. So, all right, here we go. The correct answer is... Oh, wait. Okay. Correct answer is 3 months. Levi is correct. But I think he also knew that because I probably told you. Because you were paying attention, Levi. Yes, we were only together for 3 months as a couple. We had hung out like in groups or whatever, but we weren't like an actual. Like I didn't actually ask her to be my girlfriend for at least a year. But then when I asked her to be my girlfriend, we were only a couple for 3 months before I proposed. So, yeah. So, Levi, point for you. Deborah, you still got a point, so you guys are tied right now. So there we go. All right. Next question. What year was I born? Do you know how old I am? It might say on Facebook, I don't know, but don't cheat and look. My birthday was last month, so it has changed, or at least my age has changed, barely. But what year was I born? Was I born in 1984? Was I born in 1987? Was I born in 1990? Or was I born in 1979? What year do you think I was born? Am I a child of the 80s, the 90s, or barely the 70s? What do you think? How old do you think I am? If you think it was 84, give me an A. If you think it was 87, give me a B. 90, give me a C. Or D, if you think it was 79. So let's see. Let's do the math real quick. It's 2020. So if I was born in 79, I would be 41. If I was born in 90, I would be 30. If I was born in 87, I would be 33. And then if I was born in 84, I would be 36. So those would be my age. So it would be 36, 33, 30, or 41. Those would be the ages. Deborah, you say D. Deborah says D. Deborah thinks I'm 41 years old. It's a good age. Every age is a good age because it's however old you are, that's a good age to be. I'm happy you're that age. I'm hoping you're enjoying being whatever the age that is. So Deborah's going with 79. Levi, if you're still there, you can take a crack at it. Any other guesses? What's it going to be? 84, 87, 90, or 79? What do you think? No one else going to guess? Final second before I give the big reveal. The correct answer is 1984 is the year I was born. I am 36 years old. Deborah, you thought I was 41? You know, I don't blame you for thinking I'm 41 because there is so much gray going on in here. And you know when it happened? It happened 10 years ago. Now, there's another story about Julia. See, when we got married, I was 25 when we got married. And so she would start seeing little white hairs, like, in my beard. And she would, like, we'd just be laying in bed together. I'd be reading or whatever. Or we'd just be talking. And she would, like, put her arm on my chest. And then I was like, oh, she's just rubbing my face. And I was like, oh, she's just playing with my chin. And then I feel her go bop and try and pull out one of the gray hairs. I'm like, what are you doing? She said, I was pulling out a gray hair. But she didn't pull it out. She just pulled on it. So it hurt even more because she didn't even pull the hair out. She just pulled on my hair. It hurt. She said, oh, I missed it. Let me get it again. Like, fool me once. Yeah, you're not touching the face again. Again, lots of fun stories to share with you all. All right. Here's one. What's my favorite holiday? What's my favorite holiday? Do you think it's Thanksgiving? Do you think it's Easter? Do you think it's Christmas, since we are in the Christmas season? Or is it my birthday? Because, national holiday right here. In some cases, it's an international holiday, my birthday. Just saying. What do you think? What would you say is my favorite holiday? Do you believe it's Thanksgiving? If you do, give me an A. Do you think it's Easter? If you do, give me a B. If you think it's Christmas, give me a C. And if you think it's my birthday, it's not my birthday. You can do D, okay? So it could be any of the four. It's not D. Any of the, we got a 1 in 25 chance. It's really 1 in 3 because it's not my birthday. So just give it your best guess. If you think it's my birthday, you can say that. Don't say it because it's not. All right. Deborah, you are saying Christmas is my favorite holiday. All right. That is your guess. And let's do this. Deborah, again, it looks like you're the only one watching, unfortunately. Yeah. But that's all right, because we're going to have this up live later. So if you're watching later and you're playing at home, keep score at home. See how well you did tonight. But Deborah, the correct answer is Thanksgiving. Why is Christmas highlighted? Oh, that's from an old slide, and I forgot to. Oops, yep, totally forgot to do that. My bad. That was an old slide. I was reusing the wording, and I forgot to copy and paste. My bad. My bad. But yes, the correct answer, my personal favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. That is my favorite holiday. I love Christmas. I love the Christmas season. I love the spirit of giving. I love the joy. But Thanksgiving is just, I think it's my favorite holiday because, one, it really leads into the Christmas season. It's like a lot of people say Friday is their favorite day of the week, but Thursday is my favorite day because it's like the lead up to the weekend, and even more so, I get to do CBC Live on Thursdays, so can't beat that. But Thanksgiving is that lead up into the Christmas season, and I'm so thankful for what God is doing in my life, and I just love an opportunity to share giving thanks for all that God has done. I know that's kind of like the cheesy Bible answer to give, but it's the truth. It really genuinely is the truth of I want to share how thankful I am with God and with my family and my friends by cooking a delicious turkey, which I don't cook the turkey whole. I actually break it up into its pieces. One, so I can brine it and kind of let it soak up all the flavor overnight. And then two, because it cooks faster in the oven. It doesn't take as long. And instead of having a giant tall turkey that you can only put one thing in, now it's on a tray and it's nice and low. So now you can actually have multiple things in the oven. See? Thinking ahead with that one. So that's that. That's why Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. And here we go. I don't know if this is the last one. This may be the last question. Hold on. Let me peek away real quick. I don't want to. Okay, yeah. So this is the last question. Final question. Here we go. What is my favorite Bible verse? My favorite verse in the Bible. What do you think it is? Do you think it's John 3:16? Do you think it's Jeremiah 29:11? Do you think it's Matthew 18:6? Or do you think it's Hebrews 4:12? Which one do you think it is? Deborah, you've already got your answer in. You say that my favorite verse is John 3:16, which is a great verse. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him will not perish but have everlasting life. So it's a great verse. Always a good verse to keep on hand. What about Jeremiah 29:11? For I know the thoughts I have for you, says the Lord. To prosper you, to give you hope and a future. Or as the King James says, to give you an expected end, which is one of the things that we shared with the youth last night, of talking about how God has an end, an expected destination for you. You know, it's like the phrase of it, you know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. See, God knows that the journey is going to be hard, but he's still wanting to get you where he wants you to be. He has the destination in mind, and that's what he wants you to focus on, because he knows that when you get to the destination that he has set, you're going to be in a much better place. So there's that. But then I also threw in a couple more. Matthew 18:6. If you don't know Matthew 18:6, let me pull it up real quick. Matthew 18:6, it's right there. Matthew 18:6 says, But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. That's a little dark. A little dark, especially to be a favorite verse. Or then Hebrews 4:12. Which is, for the word of God is living and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the division of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Woo! Whew, good stuff. Really, the correct answer would be all four. That would be the truthful answer. But my personal verse that I live my life by, and that's why it's my favorite, is Matthew 18:6. It's Matthew 18:6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck, and then he were drowned in the depth of the sea. The reason that verse is so important to me is because that's the life I want to live. I don't want to live a life of someone who causes another to lose their way. I don't want to be the reason someone falls away from God. That's the last thing I want. And it would be better for me to be thrown into the ocean than for me to cause somebody to stumble. So, but Deborah, you were the one who pretty much answered on every question. So guess what? You are our winner tonight. You get the prize. So I got a Sonic gift card all set for you. And you are our only participant tonight. But hopefully maybe once we get started back up, we'll start having some more people. We can start giving away some more stuff. But thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope... Too much coffee today. I've had like three cups? No, I had 4 cups today. I needed it. I needed 4 cups. Julia had to go to the doctor today. She's okay, but she's pretty sure she's got like a little minor infection kind of thing. We're still pretty sure everything is still trying to work its way out of her body, but she's okay. She's doing great. She just went to the doctor. They're going to do like some blood test kind of thing just to make sure everything, all its levels are where it should be. I wish they could get the results back to her sooner. They said they won't get them back till Monday. That's kind of a bummer. But she's okay. Hopefully we'll get her back in church soon. Hopefully you guys will come and join us for Sunday school, Sunday mornings, and then for service. If you can't join us in person, show up online. Oh, and I'm going to sneeze now. Woo, that's how you know it's live and it's not edited. Right there. I don't even edit it when I stream it. I'm just going to throw it right back up on YouTube and Facebook so you can watch it later unedited. But if you want to watch it edited, let me know if you just want kind of the meat of everything. But I told you guys I wanted to share a story, and I do. I wanted to do these little questions tonight because I want you guys to know my heart. I want you to know who I am, that I'm somebody who cares about being here in Bowie, who cares about his family, who cares about these teens, because it's where my heart is. And I know it's really hard to kind of convey your heart through a camera. It's not the easiest thing to do, since really that's how most of you only get to see me, is through these little things on Thursday nights. And, you know, I just want you to know my story, because sometimes it's hard to connect with people because we don't really know them. And I just want to use this as an opportunity for you to get to know me, because I want you to feel like I'm someone that you can come to when you have a problem, or when you have a question about something that maybe you don't necessarily feel okay with, but you just feel like, hey, you know what, that's somebody I feel like I can trust and go to. That's what we want for Central Baptist Church, is we want you to feel comfortable to come with everything that you are, that this is not a place of shame, that this is not a place where we try to be derogatory, that this is a house of God that is full of love and kindness, of mercy and grace. It's what we want to be, because it's who God has called us to be. And the story that I shared last night with the youth was how I proposed to Julia, because it was a very rocky proposal. Everything that I planned did not go as planned, but there was still a destination in mind. And the scripture that I shared with them, let me pull it up here real quick, and this is just what we briefly talked about. We touched in Jeremiah 29, verses 10 through 13. We all know Jeremiah 29:11. But if you really want to get the meat of that passage of scripture, this was the Israelites had been taken into captivity from their homeland. Now they're in Babylon, and they believe they're starting to hear from other prophets who are saying, oh, God is going to restore you back. Well, then God actually speaks to Jeremiah and says, hey, all these other guys are wrong. This is what I'm telling you, and this is what you need to tell the people. The people need to hear this part. And starting in verse 10, that for us, thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word toward you in causing you to return to this place. See, he didn't come in and say, hey, I'm going to be back in 7 weeks. I'll come back in 7 months. 70 years you are going to be captive in this foreign land that is not your own. And then the verses previous, he says, build houses, make families, take wives for your sons, and take husbands for your daughters, and build a life for yourself here. You need to keep living your life. You can't just simply wait for the big thing to happen. There's still life that needs to be lived today. And this is what he's telling them to do. And in doing that, he tells us in verse 11 that, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. In the other translation, it says to give you hope and a future. When you say an expected end, this is God letting you know, hey, I already know how this is going to turn out. And it's going to turn out really good for you as long as you trust in me. Followed up with verse 12. It says, then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you, and ye shall seek me and find me. And when ye shall search for me with all your heart. When your focus is on God, he lines everything else up. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, as he tells us in Matthew. And all these things will be added. Everything comes into place when you lead your life with him. And my proposal did not go the way I wanted it to, but I knew what the end result was. The end result was I wanted her to say yes. And it started not because I planned to propose. And it didn't start because I got permission from mom and dad to propose. It started because I went to my heavenly Father and got permission from him and said, God, is this the woman you have for me? And by praying and fasting and seeking him, when he said, this is the woman I have for you, then I knew the end that I wanted. I knew the end that was going to happen, regardless of all the craziness that took place, trying to get to her saying yes. If you'd like to hear that story, let me know. I will share it with you. But even before that, it was the story itself that's fun to tell. And we all have stories in our lives that are fun to tell. And I'd love to hear the stories about your life. And you may feel like I did when I was younger, that I don't really have a story. Or as we like to say it in church, is what's your testimony? How did you come to know Christ? What is it? What was that life-changing experience that you had that caused you to fully devote yourself to God? And that was always really hard for me growing up, because the truth was I didn't have a testimony to speak of. I didn't have this radical, life-changing experience. I wasn't a drug dealer. I wasn't the bad kid. I wasn't living in sin and debauchery for tons of years, and then it was a meeting with a random person that got my life, turned around. I didn't get saved in my 20s. I didn't get saved in my teens. I got saved when I was 6 years old. I grew up in church. My dad was a pastor. He was a youth pastor, but still a pastor. And he always encouraged us, even at a young age, to pursue God for ourselves, not just because he was a pastor and because we went to church, but he wanted us to pursue that personal relationship with Jesus. And I felt like I was able to find that at a young age. And thankfully, I had the family that encouraged that relationship, because I know a lot of people didn't have that growing up, that they had to go to church with friends because their parents didn't want to take them. And so I didn't have this grand testimony of I clawed and fought my way to get to church just so I could be with God. I had to read my Bible in the closet or fear of getting beaten. I didn't have that. I am so blessed to have the environment that I had to grow up, to be able to build my faith the way that I did. And so when I would hear all these people share their testimonies of, I was living in a ditch and I was homeless and I was addicted to drugs, but then I just felt God come upon me one day and I got my whole life changed. And I was like, wow, what do I have to offer compared to these guys? And the one who helped me to realize that my testimony mattered was Julia. And before we even started dating, we were having this pumpkin carving thing at a church I was working with one night. And so we were just carving out pumpkins and just doing fun stuff. And she and I just were sitting there and we're talking. And she just asked me, so, she asked me, what's your story? What was your life like? What's your testimony? And I said, well, the truth is I don't really have a testimony. I just kind of I grew up in a Christian home. I had loving parents, and I came to know Jesus at a young age. I don't have this amazing radical transformation in God. And she kind of stopped me in the middle of that, and she said, listen, that is your testimony. It doesn't make it less important. Your life is still important. And here she is telling the preacher, telling one of the pastors that his life mattered, that his story mattered. I'm supposed to be preaching to her, and here she is preaching to me, reminding me that who I am, the things that I've gone through still matter. And that's the thing I want to encourage you with tonight, that your life matters. Your story matters. The things that you've gone through, the places that you've been. Maybe you've just lived in one town your whole life. Your parents went to church because your grandparents went to church, because your great-grandparents went to church, and you've just been living life and just doing your thing. There is testimony in that. There is life in that. There's encouragement for someone else in that. And it doesn't lessen anything about your testimony just because you didn't have this life-changing experience. Because the truth is that you love God. When all these things in the world could vie for your affection and your attention, you still choose to love God. You still choose to accept Jesus as your Savior. That's a testimony. That's a testimony to who you are. Not just who your family was, but who you are as a person. That you personally chose God. And that's a testimony to somebody. I don't know who that's going to be a testimony for, but I do know that your story matters. And so I want to sit here and I want to share a little bit of who I am with you, and I want that to be an encouragement to you because I love you guys. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak and share with you. But just because I'm in front of a camera telling my story to the one person that's watching, it only takes one. As Pastor Greg loves to say and loves to remind me, is we're looking for the one. And maybe that one tonight is you. Maybe that one person that needs to hear this message tonight is you. And I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that your life matters. Your story matters. Who God has molded you and shaped you to be matters. And I hope that's encouraging to you. So whatever things are going wrong, your story matters. Whenever things are going right, your story matters. When your life is just simply boring and everything's just the same old, it still matters because you matter to God. And that story is going to change someone's life for the better. Don't worry about the story not being as interesting as others. Focus on the fact that the story that God is crafting for you is meant to help change someone's life. Let me pray for you. God, I thank you for this evening, for this opportunity to share your love with everyone that's watching this, whether it be live right now or watching it recorded later. God, we are all living life just the best that we can, even through difficult times, such as a year like 2020. But God, the most important thing that we can remember is that whatever is going on in our lives, whether good, whether bad, whether just same old, it's part of our story. It's part of the life that we are living right now. And I thank you that matters to you. It matters to you when everything's going great. It matters to you when we feel like nothing's going right. And I just want to ask right now, Lord, that you would just encourage everyone who's watching or listening to this, that you would let them know that where they are in life, maybe it's not in the best place, but that God, not only can you turn it around, but you can use that experience to encourage someone else. God, I believe with all of my heart that everything that happens in our lives, it happens for a reason. You're using it to help us grow closer to you, and you want to use it to help someone else grow closer to you. I don't know what that thing is or who that person is, but I believe with all of my heart, God, that you can use our story to turn someone's heart to you. We're not always going to be able to save 99, but God, I believe that we can always save the one when we trust you to lead us and guide us where we need to go. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, for everything that you're doing, and for everything that you are going to do. In your mighty name I pray. Amen. Oh, man. So glad to be back with you guys. We'll keep doing this. Well, hang on. We may not do it. Don't think we're going to do it Christmas Day. Or that would be, no, it'd be Christmas Eve. So we'll be here next week. We won't be here Christmas Eve. We may still do something. Maybe we'll do an at-home version like we did a few weeks ago. But we're gonna hang out. We're gonna celebrate with you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We love you. We hope you'll see us Sunday morning for Sunday school. That you join us for service either here at the church or on Facebook Live at 10:45. But thank you guys again. Deborah, congratulations. I'll have that gift card. I'll either bring it out to you or I'll leave it up here at the church, whatever you want. Just message me or leave the comment here below. But we love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will